Hello, myself Sunil R Nair, and here basically we are talking about the um that bank, that World Bank person basically who basically told that basically uh, I am trying to basically to find out because he actually got the task basically. Then he told that basically if I will not able to solve this problem, then I will resign the job. Then later, literally, basically he told that basically I am basically trying to find out this that. That. Like this, really, he told that basically I reached up to this, I reached up to human resource, and basically I reached up to the process, the how many process basically that is ongoing. Then basically he told that basically God basically is doing some process like Swami Narayan Group, Pramukh Swami. This all basically they basically died in front of the world 200, 300 years before only. Then basically they are also basically doing process with their family is there basically they are doing process. So this basically everything. Which are those group basically you might be knowing 100%. That Pramukh Swami basically is here. The Swami Narayan Bhagavan God basically Pramukh Swami God basically Pramukh Swami and Swami Narayan God both are basically staying in this location. Who basically might be knowing 100% the perfect address. They might be the power company and the energy company because they have the data of that particular group, that particular people basically, that particular god basically. You can say data means basically because they are passing the data to particular group basically. They are basically passing the data to particular group basically. They are passing the data to particular group basically. That's why basically few people says that basically we don't waste the food, we don't waste the fruits, we don't waste the water, we don't waste the juice, we don't waste because they say that basically these all are basically created from the energy basically. So this basically you can't basically say that whose energy basically is this and who from whose energy basically the things are basically getting created. So basically, the thing is basically here basically we reached to that basically the process basically chain that is ongoing. One more example basically we will take that how what basically the company basically is doing the process. For that basically we have taken one example of the CRM basically how basically the CRM project basically was doing the process. They told that they basically got the project of vegetable creation and then basically how they created the vegetable and then basically how they created the vegetable, that thing basically each and everything basically we got it. Then like this basically we got the information is that how basically the each and every process is basically ongoing. That also basically we saw that how the process is basically ongoing. Then one person told that basically how basically the earthquake process basically happens. Then basically one person told that basically earthquake basically is one process basically you want to say. Yes, basically 100% that is one process basically. That is one task basically of a certain group basically. Then he told that how basically you can say that. How basically you can say that earthquake is one process and basically this is one process and that is one process and this is one process. That basically how basically you can say that. Then he told that basically uh, in basically one there are assume that there are 1 lakh city in this world basically. There are basically 1 lakh city in this world and 1 lakh city basically gets earthquake every second. That basically you might be knowing that every second. Yeah, this basically we have already discussed that. Every second basically Earth planet basically gets earthquakes. Then he told that yes, but the magnitude basically is 1.6, 1.7. So basically you can't able to track that because your blood cells basically is created to that level that you basically never feel that the earthquake basically is happening. You will never able to feel that the earthquake is basically happening. When basically you will feel that earthquake is happening, then basically buildings are moving here, there basically, then basically you will be when for example you are um in train and then basically suddenly train gets shake, then basically you are in bus and then basically bus shakes, then basically you are in lift, then basically lift shakes, then basically you are in a building, then building shakes, the buildings goes left right basically, then basically you are in business sitting in some garden, then basically in garden basically shakes. That time basically the earthquake basically you will realize that the earthquake basically has came. So what would be the magnitude of that basically? Mostly, if you want to feel the earthquake, basically, then the earthquake magnitude must be above 8. If the earthquake is above 8, then basically the you can basically feel the earthquake. Basically, the earthquake basically has happened. The earthquake basically has happened. The earthquake basically has happened. So like this, basically you can able to say that basically yes, basically the earthquake basically has happened. But mostly the this type of thing basically never very less happen because to create one city basically it's created more than it basically has taken basically more than 10 to 20 lakh crore basically minimum basically I'm telling 10 to 20 lakh crore basically 10 to 20 lakh crore basically that basically is the just price of few house basically in Mumbai basically I'm telling about. Few house basically cost 10 to 15 crore, 10 to 20 crore basically. I'm talking about the normal city basically. The like city like Vadodara city. Vadodara city basically might have taken 30 to 40 lakh crore rupees basically to create. It might have just taken 20. That means basically the 30 to 40 lakh basically you can say that is basically invested by the one of the banks. Then basically they told that basically yeah basically 100% that might be invested by the bank only. That means you want to say that banks if invest then basically that is a product basically. That means Vadodara is one product basically you want to say. Yes means 100% yeah basically the Vadodara is basically one product basically. So like this basically our planet basically says that we have created 1,75,000 products. Then he told that yes, basically 100%. The thing is like this: that the world basically has created 1,75,000 products. Then he told that basically that city basically you can see that city. Yeah, that city basically. That city basically is producing the HIV/AIDS medicine. That city basically you can see. Yeah, basically that city is that city basically gives the medicine of brain cancer. That city you can see. Then yeah, I can see that that city basically is producing stomach cancer medicine. That city you can see that yeah basically I can see that city is producing the bone cancer. That city you can see yeah that city basically produces skin cancer disease. That city you can see yeah that city basically yeah, I can say that city produces blood cancer data, blood cancers medicine basically. So like this basically he told that each and every basically medicines are created in the city basically, right? And if the medicine basically has created, that means it cost basically more than 30 40 crore basically, sorry 30 40 lakh crore basically you can say. Yes, 100% the medicine is going to cost 30 40 lakh crore basically. So if it is going to cost 30 40 lakh crore basically, then basically you can just imagine the medicine basically might be getting produced. Then basically the doctors basically, then the reporting people basically who basically checks the reports. So basically, like this, the 40 lakh, 50 lakh crore basically get is the investment. So basically, that investment basically need to get to the they get to back also basically. So for that, basically, the patients basically only basically can give the money back. Like this, basically, the patients gets creates. Patients basically not creates basically that basically automatically gets creates. Automatically basically gets connect to the disease. How basically they connect to the disease basically one person literally asked the question, then basically he told that basically there are basically do you know basically there are 1 lakh story basically created in the earth planet. Yeah, that I know basically 1 lakh earth planet, 1 lakh story basically is created in the earth planet. So each story basically contain minimum basically 1,000 2,000 disease. Then he told that basically you are actually what you are telling basically I'm not getting. So let me basically explain in little bit detail. For example, there are 1 lakh story basically, and everybody just knows that basically story basically is a part of the Bollywood group. Then he told that basically yes, 100% the Bollywood basically writer basically creates the story, but Bollywood writer creates a story basically that is correct. But who basically say that basically you have to create this type of story, you have to create this type of story, you have to create that type of story, you have to create that type of story, you have to create this type of story. Who basically tells that basically who might be telling that? The people basically who want the energy, then he told that yes, basically 100%. You know that 5 lakh crore basically the 5 lakh crore basically is the population of the person. Population means 5 crore basically is a human clone basically that basically has not created yet. They are going to create. So they need basically, they basically created for what purpose? Then he told that basically they created for the when the Earth planet is going to move that side, and that time basically that Earth planet is going to access this whole energy. For that purpose, you have created. For that, basically, you have to do lots of process. That means that uh, energy is going to take basically time. Basically, it's not going because 1500 process basically you have to do. That means per day basically how much basically is so dangerous basically. 24 hours basically what are the things basically the each and every group might be doing. That basically just one person actually literally told. Then he told, yeah, correct. Yeah, basically 1500 process basically 1500 process basically are basically done in our planet basically not done basically they are basically created. Then basically after creation only basically they can move to the particular universe, and then basically the in universe also basically lots of process happens of that particular 5 crore energies. Then basically when the time comes, that time basically the data are used to move the to basically push the earth planet basically at this particular time. So this basically says that this is the time basically. Then basically he told that it might possible that same condition might occur further also basically. Further means whenever the earth planet is moving forward basically, it's moving like that in that direction. That time basically it might possible that this same condition might occur. It might possible that satellite might track basically these all conditions, and we'll say that basically this is the condition of basically. So basically you want to say that that satellites keeps on updating. That 5 crore people basically has been created, and this is the energy which is already created, and that basically data is already dumped into that satellite. So this is the basically the biggest software basically you can say which is created by set of groups that you can say. Then he told that yes, basically we can say literally basically we can say that. Then he told that basically that basically the satellites keeps on checking basically this data basically whenever the satellite moves, then that time basically the earth planet is going to move to that side. Before that basically the satellite group moves, satellite groups basically moves. So that satellite keeps on checking that this 5 crore basically people, sorry, the 5 crore data is already checked. Now basically second time the satellite is going to get the data. That time basically it might possible that this data which is basically getting going to be get that data basically exists in the database or not. That is basically the 5 crore data which is already processed. So that time basically you will say that yes, basically the 5 crore people data basically which is processed, that data basically I want again. That means basically somebody somewhere basically that satellite group basically of the earth planet basically might have put that basically might have basically stored that data somewhere basically. Then he told that basically yes, basically you are correct basically. So here the question basically one person asked that the already the existing data basically would be good, or basically the latest data basically that would be good. Then he told that that's very dangerous basically. That's a universe group of basically people only can decide, because it might possible that this data also can use, that data also basically can use. But he told that basically it will be the perfect data basically. Perfect data will be which? This basically data or that data. But then he told that basically whenever you move the Earth planet to that side basically, then you will never get the exact data basically. You will always get the percentage of data basically that that basically can be used. That means rest of percentage data where from where you are going to get. That basically you have to do the process basically. That is the human basically is going to do the process. That means that next process basically you can say that data basically is basically you can say that that basically got from that satellite. Then he told that basically yes, exactly. So next process which that these 5 crore people are going to do that process are that the data basically are going to get from the satellite. Then he told that basically you are exactly going perfect basically. Then basically he told that the next income process, next food process, next oxygen process, next generation process, next energy process, next god process, basically next body structure process, next blood cells process. Each and every process basically you want to say that they are going to give you. Then basically they told them that exactly you are correct. So this next process basically is a process which basically satellite groups give, and that data basically is processed by the energy company and the power company, and they basically say that one CRM product you have created for this particular 5 crore people, do one thing, do this process also again, and create some energy and basically just update that city basically, which city is basically, if basically updation is required, then basically update that city also, which city is going to produce basically the human needs, because that human basically which is going to be prepared, the human needs basically which is going to be prepared by the city, basically that city basically required this all data also, then also then only basically the 100% process is going to complete. Then basically they told that for that basically we have the season group, basically the season department is there, basically we can pass this data to the season department, and then season department will rest of thing basically they can basically able to take care. Like this basically he told that basically okay, then the season group basically comes into the picture. Then the season groups get activated, and according to the season basically they do the manipulation of the human needs, basically that sorry the manipulation of the cities, basically they do the manipulation in water, especially the water, basically they do the manipulation. Then basically they do the manipulation in each and every foods. Then they do the manipulation of each and every energies. Then they do the manipulation of each and every land side, land basically where they are staying. Then basically they do each and every manipulation in the buildings. Then they do the manipulation in the body structure, basically then they do the manipulation of each and every power company. Then they do the manipulation of each and every city, basically they are giving the power supply. So just see basically the percentage of requirement basically which got, up to what level the changes are basically. This type of basically this whole thing is basically currently the world basically which is ongoing, that basically they are done this basically this. Otherwise basically how the universe is moving basically. Otherwise basically universe will, if this thing, this way the world is not moving, then universe might have ended long before, sorry the universe, not the earth planet, might have ended long before basically, not universe basically. The earth planet might have ended long before. Then he told that basically, yes, you are correct here. Otherwise, our planet might have ended long before basically. Our planet might have ended long before basically. You are correct. You are 100% correct. Basically. So it's very dangerous process basically. You can say exactly. Basically, it's a very dangerous process. Then basically the World Bank basically person basically told that basically the process basically are keeps updating, keeps updating. How basically I will check the each and every data, the report basically which I am checking, how basically I can check this here? How basically I can check this? Because they are not adding your data into their blood group also, and the blood groups basically if they are not adding, until basically they are not adding, you will not get the data also. You will not get the money, you will not get the human needs, you will not get the energy, you will not get the girl for marriage, you will not get the if you want to don't want to do marriage, then basically girlfriend, like this basically each and everything basically how you are going to get Sunil. Then he told that basically how your the currency department is going to print the money. How basically the currency department prints the money basically on the base of this or blood group data basically. For example, a blood group contains 150 crore. So this 150 crore basically currencies are printed basically literally basically. Exactly they printed 150 crore currency only. 150 human people's currency only basically, according to their qualification, according to their ability, according to their basically if they are businessmen, then according to the businessmen. Like this basically literally they print the data basically. The currency department literally prints the data. And if it's a digital world, then basically they digitally do. Then basically that World Bank basically person who was basically connected this year, and basically he told that basically from this one error basically from this problem basically I basically literally got the entire world system basically how the world is basically running. I connected to lots of board also. Then I connected to lots of companies energy also. Then basically I was basically never able to got that the from one CRM software basically the vegetable also basically can be create that basically also I connected. Then basically I was basically never able to got that basically the ready for basically Yahoo basically the text box which I am seeing that basically is created from thousand cities. This type of thing basically I'm never basically able to get this basically. Even basically the lots of people basically who are into software industry they also don't know that. I basically literally asked that basically this text box is created from the thousand cities that you basically know. Then they literally told that no basically. How basically that is possible? Are you fool basically? Like this also basically few people told me. You are fool or what? Then he told that basically they will basically literally told that basically you want some example of this that the text box basically which you are displaying, which the computer basically is getting display, that is from the thousand city. You want the proof also basically from thousand city. Should we give the proof? Then they told that basically, but basically that World Bank basically person told that basically no, I don't want the proof basically because I have seen lots of things basically. So this also basically might be 100% correct. So like this basically he told that basically let me connect to some other thing also basically. And like this basically connected to few other things also. So in next basically video basically we are going to see